Neil Armstrong was just 38 years old when he walked on the moon, but 14 years before that, he put those same footprints on Purdue University's campus. In our continued special report, News 18's Trevor Peters learned who Neil Armstrong was through what he's left behind.
If you look around this place, it's no secret who Purdue University claims as its greatest alum. In 1947, Neil Armstrong came to Purdue at just 17 years old on a Navy scholarship from Wapakoneta, Ohio. The rest literally went down in history.
Here was a 17-year-old freshman coming here to study engineering, scared.
He looks about 12, but he's actually 17.
Neil Armstrong had his sights set on an aeronautical engineering degree to design airplanes.
He had to slog through Calc 1 and Calc 2.
As part of his scholarship, Armstrong would leave Purdue and enter active duty to become a pilot in the Navy. His early 20s were spent as part of 78 combat missions in the Korean War.
Once he started flying jets, he found that to be a lot of fun.
Armstrong, with the rest of the GIs, would return to West Lafayette in 1952.
He was a big shot on campus for what he had done, but he never talked about it. He never bragged about, oh, I'm a jet pilot.
But at ground level, Armstrong had other interests, playing the baritone horn in the Purdue All-American Marching Band.
Neil loved music. He told me once that in his life he could play at least 7 instruments.
He wrote a play when he was at Purdue in his fraternity.
Those who knew him said he was just like every other student. They didn't know what would come, and neither did he.
But it wasn't Neil Armstrong's goal to walk on the moon when he graduated in January of '55. But 14 years after he graduated, he walked on the moon.
In between those 14 years, Armstrong would get married, become an astronaut, have children, lose children, and command a space mission, all leading up to one of the most significant moments of the 20th century.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
Oh, boy.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Doing good here.
Boy.
Okay, we're going to be busy for a minute. That's one small step for man.
And the question I asked him was, are you satisfied with what you said, that's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind? And he said just immediately, oh, that was not the important thing I said that day. He said, the Eagle has landed. Landing on the moon was very difficult. It had never been done before. And in fact, Neil had crashed the test vehicle that they used on Earth just shortly before the launch. He believed personally that there was a 50-50 chance of them successfully landing and getting off the moon.
You can see all the people trying to touch him.
6 months after the lunar landing, he returned to his alma mater, accepting an honorary doctorate and surprising Purdue.
One of the things that we have is the Purdue Centennial flag. He had taken that on Apollo 11 with him.
The Purdue Archives is now home to that piece of history and more. The exhibit Apollo in the Archives is open until August 16th.
And we're so lucky. I mean, you can kind of see how much Neil cared about Purdue and loved Purdue.
Wally, say something. I'm speechless.
July 20th, 1969 was the day the world stood still. The world stopped. I mean, it stopped. Everybody was inside their houses watching TV all over the world.
Man finally has visited the moon after all the ages of wishing and waiting.
In 2007, Purdue added this statue of Armstrong outside of its engineering building, also named after him. Armstrong once said only Purdue would put a statue of a scared freshman outside its engineering building. At Purdue University, Trevor Peters, News 18.